Hey, if you suffer from pre-match nerves, don't worry, you're not alone. In fact, most professional tennis players do too. The main difference between you and professional tennis players is the way that you deal with those nerves. And in this video, I'm proud to be teaming up with Apeak, a mental training app, to give you 4 ways that you can actually use those pre-match nerves to improve your performance. Let's check it out. Welcome back. So before we get into the 4 tips, let me give you a little brief background on my experience of pre-match nerves. Now, as you know, I'm a tennis coach that works with a very wide range of players, from club level all the way through to international competitor. So I've seen endless amounts of pre-match nerves and helped tons of players to deal with them. Before coaching, I played competitively myself, so I've seen how tough pre-match nerves can be, but I've also learned how to deal with them to make them more productive. The most important thing to know before getting into the tips is that pre-match nerves are normal and they can actually help you to perform better. There was actually a study a few years ago that looked at professional athletes in all sports. The athletes recorded how they felt before their competition, whether they felt nervous or whether they didn't. And those that did feel nervous, how they interpreted the nerves, whether they interpreted them as a positive thing or a negative thing. And what the study showed was the athletes that were more nervous before the matches actually performed better, as long as they interpreted those nerves in a positive way. What these pre-match nerves show is that you actually care about the match, and that is one of the most important things in performing well. Anyway, let's get into my 4 tips. My first tip is to try to focus on things you want to happen in your match as opposed to things that you're afraid might happen. And what I mean by this is generally when you're feeling a bit nervous before a match, your mind will naturally drift towards the negative things. You might be afraid that your serve's going to let you down, or you might be afraid that you're going to lose to somebody that you shouldn't lose to, or maybe that your ranking is going to drop as a result of losing this match. By thinking in this negative way, naturally these pre-match nerves are going to affect you negatively. So instead, try to turn those thoughts around and think about positive things. Think about things that you want to happen in the match. It could be that you're visualizing how you would like to play in the match. Try to think about some of the best tennis you've played recently and visualize that in your mind, ready to prepare you for your match. It could be that you've made yourself a basic game plan, whether that be to hit your opponent's weakness or to try to make more use of your strength. By thinking positively and productively, you're going to set yourself in the right frame of mind straight away. My second tip is to have a good warm-up and stretch before you play. Now, doing this will obviously help you physically, but more importantly, it's actually going to help you mentally as well. One of the common attributes to feeling these pre-match nerves is muscle tension. What players do when they get onto the match court when they're feeling nervous is they tighten up. All of their muscles become tense and they become pushy when they get onto the tennis court. Now, by warming up, not only are you going to loosen up these muscles, but you're actually going to get yourself in a better frame of mind. You're going to feel far more prepared, which in turn is going to help you to feel far more confident for your match. If you have time, after you've done a bit of a physical warm-up, doing some light stretches is also going to help you to loosen off those muscles and help you to feel more prepared. So next time you're competing, try to get to the venue a little bit earlier than you normally would to give yourself a bit of extra time to go through a pre-match warm-up. Now, my third tip I mention a lot in my videos, and it's trying to concentrate on your performance as opposed to concentrating on the result of the match. By focusing on the result or the outcome of your upcoming match can cause you to play much more cautiously in that match and for you to feel more tense. So naturally, you're not going to relax and play your best tennis. However, if you can focus on the performance, that is more within your control, so you're far more likely to be able to play freely and to play your best tennis. Now, what I mean by focusing on your performance links directly to your game plan at the start of the match. Your game plan shouldn't revolve around getting to a certain score or winning a certain amount of points, because quite simply that's out of your control. Focus on what is within your control. So it might be that you're trying to play with more depth, or you're trying to increase the amount of spin on your second serve. These things can help you to focus on the right parts of your game as opposed to worrying about what the result might be. Now, my 4th and final tip is one of my favorites, as it's something that I've always done before matches, even to this day, and it's listening to music. This can be a really good way to set your mindset. Now, depending on how you want to feel going into your match, you can pick a certain music genre. Now, I know lots of players that listen to heavy rock music if they want to feel pumped up before a match, whereas others like to listen to classical music if they want to feel a little bit calmer, ready to play. Whatever music you're into and whatever mood you want to set, listen to that before you go on court, and it can take you out of those negative thoughts and into your own little world, relaxing you and preparing you for a much better match. Now, if you want to take this a step further and have an even more productive way to get yourself into the right frame of mind, this is where Apeak comes in. As I mentioned right at the start, Apeak is a mental training app which has tons and tons of audio content to help you to get yourself into the right frame of mind, whether that be before or after a tennis match, or even to build momentum within your training sessions. The app is a tennis specific one, and all of the content within it has been created by world-class psychologists and tennis coaches. What you can do instead of listening to music is actually select a module that suits your needs. As we're talking about pre-match nerves, let's click on Prepare for Match. As you can see, we have a number of different scenarios. So if you're nervous because you're playing a stronger opponent or even a weaker opponent, you can select that module. And within there are 4 for you to choose from. This one in particular is 8 minutes and 24 seconds. By listening to this during your stretch routine can make that stretch even more productive and really set you in the right frame of mind, ready for a good battle. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with the mental side of your tennis, whether that be pre-match nerves or struggling on big points, whatever it might be, I genuinely think this app can be game-changing for you. If this sounds like it's something that you could do with, Apeak have kindly given the viewers of this video a free trial, so I'll put the link to that in the description below. So they were my 4 tips. My suggestion for you in your next match is to try to take one of those and put it into practice. A couple of them are much easier to do straight away, such as warm up and stretch before your match, or listen to music, or download the Apeak app. They're all things that you could put into practice straight away and should make a positive impact to your performance and your results. I'm planning on making a few more videos on the mental side of tennis, so if you have any topics you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to make a video on it. Thanks as always for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.